What's up, SNA Assassinators? About 5 minutes after I made my SmackDown review video, and man, you should watch it if you haven't already. I was talking about plenty of things that happened. Pretty good show, except for the ending. Like it had no explanation on what was the finish of the match was between Solo Sikoa and the Tonga Brothers against the Street Profits and Kevin Owens. But hopefully they'll have a explanation to follow it up like next week on SmackDown, which I believe it's going to be a little nonsensical, but I'll say it will make sense on the story's perspective in the feud between the new bloodline against Kevin Owens. But I guess for now, enough about WWE stuff. We're going to be talking about what exactly went down AEW. Not really much of an exciting show, but still was a relaxed and interesting show to watch. Like after watching a very entertaining SmackDown, because that's how we would like it when we watch some AEW shows. Like especially on a Friday night, will be right after watching SmackDown. It's like tradition to us IWC guys and casual wrestling fans. Well, not too casual, like the ones that just want to watch it on TV and not look on what's going on the internet and social media and stuff like that. But we're gonna start off with Penta El Zero Miedo taking on what's his name, the Butcher. I believe that was the Butcher. This is where we start doing the Zero Miedo, and did it right into his face. This is where we got Butcher was already prepared for it. This is where he did not get pushed right all the way because he was not phased of it a bit, not even a teeny bit. Hits a right hand right to the face of Penta, knocking him out onto the right side. Then he hits another one. This is where he started repeating with punches and stomps right onto the leader of Zero Miedo. This is where then the Irish whip him right to the bottom corner side. This is where then he tried to go for a big boot, but this is where Penta didn't hang on to the ropes. But this is where he still gets booted right to the midsection. This is where he tried to throw Penta right into the upper corner ropes, but this is where he counters, hit a super kick right to his face. This is where then we got Penta then hit a chop right on his chest and then started slapping. This is where then he did the Zero Miedo, put it in his face, not by rubbing it though, but he just started wiggling around, went to the right side, but he gets instantly boot right to the face by Butcher. That's where then Butcher then pick up hold on to Penta, hit a single action right to the back. That's where then he Irish whip him right to the upper right side. This is where he was about to hit him with some kind of a butcher slice right onto the upper corner, but this is where it gets kicked right or elbow right into the face. Was it? Like I think it was the elbow. This is where we got Penta then try to go for a maneuver right up in the upper right side. This is where we got Penta moving out of the way. He has to step up into gear. This is where we got Penta then hit a chop right into the chest. This is where he tripped right over right onto what's his name? Butcher. This is where he tripped him right over. Penta then went right to the bottom right side. This is where then he go up right up on the top of the turnbuckle. Stand up there doing a little leg opening jack. This is where then he hit a drop kick right in the face onto Butcher. This is where then he tried to go for a pin, but this is where he only got a 2 count. This is where we got the Butcher to start crawling around a bit. This is where then Penta was like, okay, like I should have saw that coming. This is where he started going for a side kick right into the left leg of the man that loved chopping up meat. Anyway, he backed right to the right side, but this is where we got. That's where then we got what's his name? Butcher then went to the left. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline, but this is where he gets swinging to a flying head scissor. This is where he sends him right to the upper left side. This is where he rolled right underneath the ropes. This is where he went to the left corner of the side area. This is where the Penta started doing a little shimmy, like Zero Miedo looking towards the bottom corner fans. This is where he went right to the left. Right in the left. He tried to go for a baseball slide kick. But that's where we got what's his name? Butcher then smartly slide ducks right out of the way, but this is where Penta tried to go for a super kick. This is where we got Butcher then try to grab onto the leg, try to push it back, but he still get kicked in the face. This is where he tried to go over again, but this is where Butcher was successful this time. This is where he tried to go for a close, but more likely a shoulder tackle. But this is where Penta moved out of the way, and he acts. This is where we got butchered and accidentally shoulder bumps. What's his name? Alex Abrahantes, or did he? This is where he fell right back first, right onto the ramp. This is where the Penta hit a super kick right into the gut or the ribs. This is where then he hits him face first, right onto the symbol of steel steps on the right side. This is where he tried to check on his manager. He's like, "Are you okay?" Like he did not injured you or anything. This is where Alex was like no, like I think I'm okay, but he hit me hard though. This is where we got Penta to call out for the doctor. He was like, "Come on, we need some help out here." This is where they doctor the paramedics to take him to the doctor's room. This is where they did so. This is where we got. This is where it caught him off guard. And this is where he kind of forgot he was in the match. This is where he gets struck with a hamburger hammer punch in the face. This is where then throw. This is where then we got what's his name? This is where we got what's his name? What's his name? Butcher, that's what his name is. The Butcher then throw Penta back in the ring. This is where he starts spinning around with him, taunting the Lucha Bro guy. This is where we got, or the Lucha Bro, one of the Lucha Bros. Like this is where then he grab on. This is where then we got. What's his name? The Butcher then try to go for this is where then the Butcher then grab onto to Penta. This is where he sends him right to the bottom left side, hit him with a huge clothesline. Snapmare's what's his name? Snapmare's Penta El Ziedo Miedo right into the ground. This is where he hits a swift kick right into the back. A brutal one to be the exact. This is where then he starts spinning around. Like this is where he's you may be a guy that always wins your matches, but it seemed like that reign is going to end very, very soon. This is where then we got this is where then we start punishing him with so many hits. This is where he sends him right to the right side. This is where he sends him right to the ringside area in the left side. This is where then he start hitting him with barricades and start doing more punishment, stomping him, and then start stopping him, kicking him in the gut. This is where then he hits him with a boot, I guess strike boot. This is where then he sent him right to the back in the ring. But once he tried to do another maneuver onto him, but this is where Penta got back up, ran to him, hit a sling blade. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where we got the Butcher then instantly kicks out at 2.1. This is where we got Penta was like, okay, like that. I should have known that was not going to work because that move is useless when it comes of using it to try to get the victory. Like, how about I go up right on the top rope and take a chance of a double foot stomp? But this is where we got what's his name? The Butcher moved right out of the way, right when they were in the lower left side. This is where then he hits a botched crossbody, but he still managed to successfully nail it right onto Penta. This is where then this is where he tried to go for a cover, but this is where we got the referee counted one, referee counted two, but this is where we got Penta Zero Miedo got the shoulder up at 2.8 at almost at the last second. This is where we got the Butcher grabbing onto Penta. This is where then he hit a right elbow strike right into the face. Once he had him right into the left side in the turnbuckle. This is where he threw, try to go for a running striking clothesline, but it didn't work in his favor. It was it was a little slow. This is where we got the Butcher then duck out of the way. This is where he hits a half Nelson backbreaker on the Penta. That didn't work. He only got a 2.8, I believe. This is where the Butcher was like, oh, come on. Like, it may not be my finisher, but that looked like a move that you can not easily kick out of. This is where he tried to go for that choke slam, but this is where Penta flips right out of it. This is where then he pushed him right to the bottom corner rope. This is where he hits a roundhouse kick in the midsection, and he kicked his face up right in the air. This is where then he tried to go for a fear factor. This is where he did this Zero Miedo hand gesture. This is where he tried to go for a fear factor. This is where he finally hit it. This is where he got the 1, 2, 3. And the winner of this match on the opener, Penta El Zero Miedo. And I want to give a ginormous congratulations to the former AEW Tag Team Champion. And what do you think what's next for the leader of Zero Miedo? Like, since he's not going to be a part of the ladder match because last week he lost to the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita. Let me know in the comment section right down below. But I'll give this match second place spot because they did a wonderfully swell job on this match. Like, I'll say, but number one goes to the main event, obviously, because Mina Shirakawa showed one thing that she's good at in the business of pro wrestling is to wrestle. And I'll hand it to her. Like, despite her goofy personality and her persona and her and not really much of a talker, like she still can wrestle. And she has in her. Like, you see why she's in this industry. But anyway, this is where we got Chris Jericho was coming out in the ring with his students of the learning tree. This is where then he said, "Hey, hello again, my boy Matt," and then he's like, "And you, Tony, like, hey guys, he was like, I just want to give you a learning lesson. Try not to talk like right in front, like, and this where he's like, try not to talk right in front of the announcers and keep your face up right into the camera. Like, okay, like you like, and you need to learn that, Daddy Magic. Like, it's like all part of the job as a successful commentator. If you want to be like well known as a very popular commentator, you got to look the part and act like a part. Like, and he's like, and it's you're all part of your job. Like, it's to commentate. It's like, and he's like, and I got nominated like into the Wrestling Observer newsletter from Dave Meltzer, like, so like as the best commentator. So I know exactly what I'm talking about, and I was thinking to myself, like, Chris, like, shouldn't you like, why do you care what Dave Meltzer said? Like, you're starting to sound like one of these internet marks on the IWC. Like, no, with all due respect, like half the times, if not like somewhere in the 90%, that whatever Dave Meltzer says, like, does not even matter. Like, so why do you care about getting anything rewarding from the journalist? Nothing against Dave Meltzer. I think he does a very successful job in his work as a journalist and a wrestling critic. Like, I'm just saying, like, you shouldn't care. Like, you're a pro wrestler. You're a very famous, well-known pro wrestler. So why would a journalist say on what's opinions about you? Even though that's a good thing on one hand, like you got number one as the best commentator, which I believe that's everybody's opinion because you're very comedic and entertaining. But you shouldn't exactly care like that. Like, if it's some kind of like Sports Illustrated award of being the number one wrestler of the year. But anyway, let's talk about what Jericho also said. This is where then the kid was done giving the lessons to Matt Menard and Tony Schiavone. This is where he was like, "Thanks, guys. Like, I'll see you guys again soon." And this is where they walked out with Big Bill. Big Bill's like, "Yeah, you learned your lesson." Wait, that's the Tony Schiavone. No, it was Excalibur. Yeah, this is where we got Big Bill's like, remember to always listen what your former mentor said. This is where we got Brian Keith good. That's where we was like, you better not be disrespecting Chris Jericho. It seemed like he always he gets easily provoked, like if somebody's disrespecting Chris Jericho. So if I was you SNA assassinators or fans out there like that do not want to get mugged by Brian Keith, I would recommend you to show Chris Jericho. Just saying, like, and don't make any disrespectful remarks to the teacher of the learning tree, which most of y'all would do, even if you weren't threatened by the bounty hunter Brian Keith. But he's more like a disrespectful hunter, I guess you could say, more likely a bounty hunter, which I'm not sure if that's a hilarious term to use onto Brian Keith. But let me know about this in the comments below. Which I think he has a big hatred to those that disrespect Chris Jericho, which I guess that's a good friend. But at the same time, I'm not sure like if it should be like a gimmick like that. He's an angry guy to those that disrespect him, and even if they don't respect, you still like give him the death stare, which I don't know what is up with that. Like, I guess to get him over as a recognizable guy. But this is where we got the Acclaim coming out here. This is where then we go like you should go. He said like let's see. He was like, yeah, some, like from the unsanitary spitting, we're about to fight these guys from January 6th. Like, and if you store it in the Capitol, you should go cover, like, do it in the dark, like if you or Lauren Boper, like it was like Richard like I keep it bloody, like you. Claude Pores, both of y'all are so ugly. I got a contour like Big Max on the line against Bond, like the Acclaim, and then this is where then you got the catchphrase from Anthony Bowen saying like Colorado, the Acclaim has arrived, and asked his daddy ass to scissor him, which I don't understand why I just said that. Like that sounds very oddly inappropriate. But yeah, the point is they got they just got to the point like this is where we got Max Caster knock over this guy that looked like a Viking Raiders wannabe, which they did not specify, which I can't remember what name they specify him as. But it's once Max Caster got up on the top rope, he hit them with the mic drop, elbow drop to get the 1, 2, 3. And even though this match lasted less than a minute, I want to give Max Caster a big congratulations and to say way to go for your match like in the squash. Now this is where we got backstage. This is where we got the Shane Taylor promotion, most specifically Shane Taylor himself with his boys, Tiger Style, Lee Moriarty, and Anthony Ogogo. This is where it's like I'm gonna show like anybody that want to step up to the Shane Taylor on why we are the most successful faction in this business. Again, we're going to show what exactly we have done and what exactly we're going to do. Like, it's the most exciting and most death-defying and most entertainment